Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Gaddafi, and welcome to a bit more of Pillars of Eternity. Now, I just want to go back to something real quick. In the last video, I haven't uploaded it yet, so I don't know what the reaction will be. It will be. If there are any comments, it will make a change. But they'll be the first comments I've actually had on this series so far. But yeah, my comments about like the Blizzard layoffs. Oh shit! I've just undone all that positioning. Probably faster to reload the save. I think my comments about the Blizzard layoffs yesterday were a bit callous, so I apologise for the tone. The message sort of remains the same, that, like, I don't believe Blizzard are a legendary company. I believe that reputation is manufactured by people who excuse a lot of things.
Of course.
And are willing to put up with shit conditions. And pay. I think he's petrified. Yep. Oh, we can summon tentacles. Nice, I forgot we could do that. Yeah. Yeah, you can heal yourself even. Gonna launch a spell. Wow, he's taking a ton of damage. Well, this petrified. What does he get? So he takes 100% all damage taken, less damage. Interesting that petrified doesn't reduce your damage taken from electricity or fire. You know, if you're petrified, you'll turn to stone. So surely you'd take less damage from those things. Yeah, in fact, let's take a moment to sort of really talk about this. Oh, shit. Oh, that went well. Oh, that's just going fantastic. Everything has gone to cock. Aloth, about those tentacles. Can we have some, please? Just about there, I'll do. Oh, I'm petrified as well, so I can't cast any spells. Great. Eddie, if you can knock down the wind blight, that'd be great. You probably can't, but hey-ho. This has gone to rat shit. Yeah, so in my comments, like, to the whole thing of, Blizzard, yeah, it's like, people are willing to work for shit pay. For a company that has no end of problems. But I still think that, you know, look, if you've lost your job, it's a shit situation. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemies. I've had absolute dog shit managers in the past, and I wouldn't wish them to be laid off. Especially because with them, it's a case of, like, they'll be let go, and they'll somehow enter a higher paying job.
Ready, Watcher.
Like, no word of a lie. They will just end up somehow in a better position than they were before. Right, there we are. Attack those off screen. That's better. At least we think it is. It's about a defense bonus. Oh no, he's charmed. Oh god, okay, let's create a defense bonus for everybody. In fact, I wonder if I can use Suppress Affliction or something like that. Suppress? Oh, this isn't good, everything's broken through. Barring Death's Door. Searing Seal. Let's see if a 4th level spell's going to do any good. I doubt it very much. Tentacles, please, just whip everything here. Never mind, he's stunned. Yeah, we're all stunned, and this is all fucked. I think we might have to come back here at a later level. Oh, hello. Right, we might actually have a chance to turn this around. Oh, no. Combat looks gone. Yeah, so... with the layoffs, you know, my sympathies do go out to those who are laid off. But there is a bad work culture in Blizzard. That has to absolutely be worked on. And it seems as though Microsoft's way of dealing with that, if that was the intention, and I say if it was, it wasn't, the intention was to basically make money for the quarterly reports. Yeah, it's not good, like, none of it. No one looks good in this, you know? Yeah. Things just seem a bit crap, really, for everyone. I just hope it all gets...
Hey.
No prisoner!
Is he charmed? Dominated? Oh, shit.
Watch it with that.
At least he's using his bow, so there's that. Why he's using his bow, I have no idea, but... let's use these abilities. If I can get range...
You are.
oh, this is horrible. I'll cast Withdraw on Eddie. He's got to stay alive. I'll change his weapon set as well, so he's actually got a bit of tanking to do. Right, what else have we got? Oh god, they're right around. Atragan is barely injured, that's not good. Oh, flame blights. Is it? Yeah, okay. Hey, look, you got a Sunless Grasp. It didn't seem to like that. Okay, that's good, that's good. Okay, heal up. Yeah. So, obviously I don't want people losing their jobs. Oh, no, Aloth, I don't want you in melee. Run! Why has everyone got their other weapons out? At least you've got the right weapon.
Following your
Okay, everybody.
still alive? I need something sharp.
Let's put a pillar of faith down on that. This is horrible. What affects you? Because his health is really low. I've got anything that can actually heal health. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll give you that. So, when you're sitting on death's door, he'll come back. That's the theory, at least. Circle of Protection. I don't think he's going to actually give anyone any benefits. That they're all under the effects of that anyway. Focus more healing on you. But no, it's not going to do any good. His health is way too low. Dire Blessing. Yeah, let's try and give everyone a great chance to hit. Skellington, if you could just go there.
So much for you.
In fact, if you guys want to move in...
We gotta take better care of Ella.
Ah, see, you can't actually get through the door. So let's get the melee attackers back. Okay, we can send the skeletons over, that's fine. Everyone else can just shoot. It's nearly dead. It can't get through the door, that's brilliant. Everything's dead, we're alive, and someone's leveled up. Yay! Has I already not leveled you up? Okay. Oh my word, we've got loads of stuff here. Heal Companion. Kinda want to go for that. Modes I don't really want. Takedown. If target's prone. Oh, you can knock it prone. Nice, okay. Ranged attacks bounce once. Hit another target behind it for less damage. Not bad. Predator sense. Defensive bond. Swift aim. Instant mode. No, I'd rather go for heal companion. Excuse me. Right.
Well,
Aeloth's nearly dead. Engwithan shield, nice. Right. Perhaps. Oh, we can't camp. We've got no camping supplies.
as you wish.
We'll scout ahead and see what happens. Yeah. So, obviously, my thoughts go to those who have lost their job. Blizzard. At the same time, though, it's like when I say this isn't news, it's like one. Again, that was calisthenic. What I mean to say is like, oh fuck me. Sorry, Aeloth's only wounded. He's not actually dead. I got a feeling that's not all what it seems, though. So yeah. Fine pad now and a soft hat. Oh dear. I don't know, go ahead. Yeah, but like, Blizzard was gonna get if Microsoft didn't let go of people, Activision would have done. They do it all the time. And we see it year upon year upon year. They just keep doing it. It's why I'd stop. It's one of the reasons why I'd stop playing World of Warcraft. It's just like, I can't support this on a fundamental basis. You know, like this is just completely ridiculous. So I had to basically stop buying Blizzard stuff. Which is a shame. Because sometimes they actually make decent stuff. But, yeah. But it just get getting way too demoralizing. And yeah. Like, loyalty is not really rewarded at Blizzard. Unless you're like one of the original sort of founders. Yeah. But then this applies to a lot of companies, unfortunately, where loyalty doesn't really get you a whole lot of anything. Yeah. It's a shame. But it is worrying that Microsoft is doing this. Like, I don't go wrong, like Microsoft's Microsoft's game studios shutting down part of their game division is not unheard of. But it takes a lot for them to lose their patience. Like, you know, like with Lionhead Studios when they shut down, it's like Fable just wasn't really working out. So yeah, right. So we need some more camera supplies before we do this. But even then, I want to level up a bit more before we get into the further levels. Caed Nua is very tricky. It's not meant to be done all in one go. So let's focus a bit more on this main quest. Although we've got some side quests we can do. A bit of wilderness we can clear out as well. So yeah. But yeah.
It's very nice. We're not sleeping here, are we?
So, the dungeon has been built. We've got 8,000 copper pans. What are we going to spend them on? So, in order to have the southern curtain wall and the west curtain wall, we need the western barbican. Merchant stalls. I want some more security before I really sort of build this place up. So let's rebuild the Barbican. Finished in 3 days, okay. That gives us some time. Let's leave our fortress. Yeah, so it's interesting that Microsoft have shown their hand, but I think this is part of the course for Blizzard, unfortunately. And there's just a lot of stuff as well that just weren't going to be needed moving into the into Microsoft. I wouldn't mind clearing out some wilderness. Let's go to Gilded Vale first. Buy some supplies, and yeah, just sell off a load of shit ton of gear. But yeah. So yeah, honestly, my thoughts do go out to those who lost their jobs at Blizzard. I know that a lot of people do like to go there, and it is expensive to uplift your entire life to move to Southern California, only to be told, oh yeah, by the way, you've not got a job, and and you better find somewhere else soon, because otherwise you're shit out of luck. So let's just sell all of these items. We're going to be here for a while. But let's talk about another game. A bit more related to Pillars of Eternity this time. So Avowed. There's been a bit more information revealed. Not much, but there's been an interview with the dev team, some previews of gameplay. And it looks fairly okay, if I'm honest. Like, it looks alright. I know a lot of people love the look of the magic system. I can certainly see why. But I don't know, it just doesn't seem that overly impressive to me. Like, I've seen more magic systems that do that sort of thing, and yeah. Don't think we even need the fine gear now that we're getting enchanted stuff. So not gonna really bother with that. Any other stuff? I must admit, I thought I'd make a bit more money than that, but it's okay. It's yeah. Go for a bit. Oh, we need to rest up as well and buy some camping supplies. That, you know, the main reason we're there, right? Let me just get my Pepsi, and I'll be back soon. So yeah, so Avowed. A couple of things about it that we know so far, because it's it's going to take place in, like, I think it's Ukaizo, which is like the a realm that has not yet been fully affected by the colonialism of the Eldarin Empire, or the Valians, or anything like that. So that's going to be quite interesting. So I think it's going to be like a sort of new world exploration sort of deal, which which few people have done with dignity. And bear in mind, I'm saying this as someone, you know, who was, you know, who's not really been affected as such by colonialism. Oh, yeah. But I think it can be. But games like Greedfall, which are like the last game to really sort of try and go into it, sort of did it like so inoffensively. Like at first I thought, oh yeah, this is pretty good, and then it's like, yeah, this is just actually, it's not very good at, like, does it have to reflect modern politics? Does it have to make up for anything? You know, when it can just be a fun little adventure. So I don't know. But yeah, seems like to be a good world. Anyway, full man. Oh, hello there. Begging your pardon, but you just haven't given me a good fright. I thought I heard some rustling through the bush, so I thought it was just you, silly me. I don't suppose you know what happened. You happen to need some supplies. I thought I made my way over to Madamar Bridge, but I'm starting to think it's be better off heading back to town and getting a few of our things together. Let's save the sorry, alright? Wait, so did you hear something?
So much for you.
Forgot the rest. By every star in the sky, thank you. I've never seen these beasts so bold before. Strange times around here. Take these. I'm headed back to Gildan for certain, and you can probably make better use of them.
As you wish.
So we might actually see him in Gildan Vale, where I need to rest, and I forgot to do so. So 4 hours, okay, fine. So yeah, so it seems like a decent enough setting. I'm pretty glad of the setting. But what do we actually know about gameplay? So there's going to be no classes. It's going to be a game similar to the Elder Scrolls, where you don't really have a class as such. You start the game. This is more specific like Skyrim, where you start the game where you have no such thing as custom classes, and like you sort of build up your skills, I think, as you use them. The Outer Worlds has done this before, so we know that, and Tyranny, another game of Obsidian's, which is really good, has done this as well. So like I know for a fact that Obsidian can do it, and they can do it well. Are they going to? That's another matter entirely. Might as well rest at the end as well, hadn't I? So I gotta go back in. Let Aeloth heal up. So yeah. So I don't like the idea of classless, if I'm honest. I know it can be done, but I'm not entirely certain of it. I like classes because they inform your character. They have your character start out with an understanding of, like, it informs their background. It's who they were. They weren't, like, in the Elder Scrolls, it sort of makes sense. I subscribe to Lore Runners Theory, a fantastic YouTuber, just great Let's Plays and ruminations about the games he's played. And he is of the theory that when your character's born, basically your character doesn't exist prior to the game starting. And this is part of Morrowind as well, especially. Right, okay, he's now in Deerwood. In Gildan Vale, that's good. So yeah, so your character is not born until or your character does not exist until you boot up the game in the game's world. And it's the whole idea of like Kim or Chim, the idea that your character, that basically you can realize, you can sort of like self-realize in a way, where you realize that you are actually like a character in a video game. This is real. You realize that you are a puppet of the gods, and you are a puppet of the gods, and you are everything is like predetermined. You have a set routine and all those kind of things. It's like self-awareness, and it's really cool. Now the thing is that if you can only achieve Kim by holding on to that piece of knowledge and acknowledging it and not going mad. If you go mad, you blink out of existence. Anyone who's sort of semi-achieved Kim doesn't realize that they've, holy shit, I'm in a video game. I'm just an NPC. They blink out of existence unless they essentially just disappear. So you don't know anyone who's failed. There could be hundreds, if not thousands, of people who have failed. But there's those who do, and they achieve Kim. And that sort of relates to Laura's theory of like the idea of like, yeah, your character is existence one to learn. So that works for a classless system, and especially in Elder Scrolls. However, I like the idea of like my character's come a long way to get to this point, or they're a trainee, and now this is their standard route. They're starting to find their roots. However, I do also like the Dungeon Crawl Classics idea of like, right, you start at level 0. It's a tabletop role-playing game where you start at level 0, and you have a profession, and you could be like a weaver, or you could be a baker, or a butcher, or a candlestick maker, yeah? And if your character survives, then they get to choose their class, or whatever. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's continue. Gramfell the Wayfarer. A motley crew gathering stands at the crossroads. At first glance, the person at the head of the group seems more monster than man. Two large curling horns emerge from the sides of its skull, forming a hardened carapace like pork-like coral. Down its centre is the strange shell splits, revealing the ash-grey skin of a man's face, obscured by the nose. The horns may seem a mere helmet, saved in that several places you cannot tell where the flesh ends and the bone begins, so he's a death god-like. From the neck down, however, this all appears to be a human man clad in fine armour with the dark shade of his features. Death god-like, because I'm a death god-like. The man smiles, revealing long white teeth, from which the gums are retracted. Despite his maxed eyes, he looks unerringly in your direction. How now, cousin? His grin widens. I like that. Myself, I am twice blessed. Imagine that I should walk across a road in some backwater and find kin upon the road. A countenance as grim as mine. We have both suffered Barath's touch, I show it in our visages most clearly. He laughs quietly. Are you enjoying the fresh air? He gestures to the men who went behind him, are doing much the same. Who are you? In Gramfell. Lately I've had deer and soil and these. He sweeps a hand to gesture at his comrades. My merry associates. The violence is for his sky ill frighten him. What are you doing here? To see what White One has brought. Oh, find the name of the true architect. Thousands of souls flung into other world, but only in the Deerwood. And their dear mothers and fathers coo undeterred over their sprats. Just over this, across the sea they weep. It's worthy of a song. So you are a fellow scholar? Have you learnt a great deal? Perhaps we might trade tales and... I think not. Nay, I have spent some time among the law chanters. Keep your songs on my parents are the beareth alone. They speak of death. You have much to life in you by far. I walked a time out in the time of the lovers' tides, and saw the chaos they brought, but this is a true catalysm. A time of destruction I would observe firsthand. Those storms and plagues pale in comparison. Have you made any progress? I'm sorry. What, toward the cure? I seek no resolution, only an understanding, and in that, there's nothing out of the way of it. You need but look at them, the squirming empty things, the babies thrown into the sea, or else exposed to the wilderness. All these experiments the animals have done, I have found my answers already, even if the grieving mothers and fathers have not. But what did you learn? That having parted body from soul, we see the truth of it. That the brain is not the mind, but only that which houses it a time. That what sustains the flesh is wholly separate from what feeds the life. If the soul is what determines life, then death is not the blade through the heart or the poison of the drink. It is a fragmentation of a soul, the destruction of a soul, indeed, the absence of it. But what are you doing in the road? A band of brigands such as we? I cannot imagine. It is not an inexpensive life, ours. Even in the study of calamities, one deserves a certain level of comfort, I think. I think it's done as well. That talk is done. Got that one slow. I want to see the light leave him. Pity. Shoot the priest. Burn that motherfucker. Set the hound on him. Aeloth. Burn that prick. And... should be able to shoot this guy for me if you could. Let's have a fireball. They're quite formidable, aren't they? Yeah, heal yourself if you want to, Aloth. You can heal your companion. If you're so interested in souls, let's get some soul abilities. What else? I got Consecrated Ground. And what else can we do? You're facing that one, you're facing that one. Palagina, you're dealing with him. I need you to get in there if you can. Deal with them. I'm dealing with this guy, okay. Let's bring down a Pillar of Faith. I'll heal everyone. And what else we got? Fair level spells. It does feel good, like playing at this sort of level when you've got plenty of
No use. I need
spell slots. It's a shame the trees are covering the fight, really. Wait. You have won the day. Master Traveler. I beg you. Fine. You'll spend some time in the dungeons of Caed Nua. As you wish it, then. Ah, so it seems as though I think some of these encounters come from having it the dungeon. Now I think Aloth has a scepter, so I can give him the fine scepter. Let's just check. Yeah, you got a scepter. No, you can have an upgrade. No, not crafting. Dear me. What's that? Fine battle axe. Thank you. And you have you have a fine hatchet. Okay. Also, as well, do you have any spells you can learn from that? No. Okay, so we can get rid of this grimoire. There's nothing really in here. Nice if you could like name the grimoires as well. Is that a bit of role play there? So I wonder if there's anyone in this house. Giacho, hello. It's good to see you again. I don't know whether I can really thank you enough for your help. Getting here was a little more exciting than I'd hoped with all the wolves, but Goldskin and the others have been helping me. I'll be back in the thick of it soon enough. Maybe then I can return the favor, right? What is this place? Used to be someone's home, I suppose. Now it's where we meet. Sometimes Kolsk was abandoned when they found it. It's not all that secret, is it? But I suppose it's far enough away enough from the hold. Yeah. Ah, so that's where he went. That's good. So we rescued him from the dungeon at Roderick's Hold. That's good. So yeah. I don't mind classless systems, really. I prefer a class system. But at the same time, it's like, hey, in this sort of game, I think in an open world sort of environment like that, it maybe classless works better. There's stuff over here that we haven't explored. I want to know what's there. Maybe there is something at the Adra Foundation. That makes it sound like an organization. Bears. It is nice to get vengeance on bears in this game, I must admit. Baldur's Gate 1. You leave Candlekeep. Yeah, you leave Candlekeep whole, and it's like, there's a bear. Can I kill it? Nope. Nope, it's gonna decapitate you in one hit. It will kill your character in one hit. Like, proper kill. What about the, So I can release him if I want to, that's good. But I'm not going to. Because I imagine we get to talk to these characters. What other wilderness can we do? I believe there is... There's some other quest that we can do. So Deerfoot's that way. So let's do some... I don't think there's anything there. Let's go to Black Meadow. So yeah. So the class system might work. I like some of the stuff they've shown so far. So things like the ability you can use a gun and shield, I really like the idea of. That's probably what I'm going to start doing. A bit like pistol and shield. Dual pistols, how that's going to work with like matchlock weapons, I've no idea. Yeah. Yeah, the dialogue system seems okay. I think all NPCs are voice acted. There is no point that companions will leave you. You may come to discover in this game, and I think as well Pillars of Eternity when we play that, and we will. That like NPCs will choose to leave you if they don't like the decision that you've made. And I don't like when NPCs do put me on that sort of course, but at the same time it's like, it is kind of necessary. Because yeah, they have lives of their own. They have lives and feelings of their own. Their own politics and policies. Like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, it's what you say in D&D. It's like, look, everyone has to be on the same page. Why would you adventure with this person if you are constantly at odds? Yeah? Bones. Monument to Galloway and beneath their knees. Oh dear. Monument to Galloway. He's not going to be happy. Galloway is the, like, god of nature, I guess. Like, he's like the one of the nature gods anyway. Yeah. Don't mind me stealing your shit. So I think we pretty much explored everything except down here. I love this music. It's like, it gets me excited to play D&D again, but I won't be playing this week. One of the players can't make it. But that's just sometimes how it rolls. Let's go to Woodend Plains. We've got to make our way actually for a companion quest, I think. So... yeah. So the weapon system looks decent. Voice, the voice character's decent. Companions, fine with it. Right, what now? Craft hall. So the laboratory, the bright hollow hearth. Storing yours may resemble a semblance of order. So these are like cosmetics, I think. I might go for some of these actually. But we have got a lot of money. Barracks, yes, I want barracks. So I think we've already seen these graves, yep. There we go, nice and easy. See. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've seen of Avowed so far that I want to comment on. Yeah. Like, I think it's gonna be like... I think it's gonna be one of those games that's gonna be kind of divisive, I think, among the community, where it's like... It's just a change of tone, you know? It's like when the old... No, that's a bit more radical. I was gonna say, it's like when the Elder Scrolls went from like the sort of 2D stuff to the full 3D, but... That's not appropriate. Can't compare it to Baldur's Gate. It is a rather radical change. As well, actually, I suppose it is like Avowed, you know, like Fallout 3. Sorry, Fallout going from a CRPG to a first-person shooter, from going to something like this to like a first-person shooting game. Yeah. And yeah, the community, like I've talked about that in like Fallout 3, the community was pissed. And they have a right to be, you know? You know, it's like... Yeah, it's a very different game. It changes so much about it on just a basic level, and... Thief, okay. Let's check this out. So yeah. Yeah, so it will change a lot. Whether it's going to be Pillars of Eternity 3 or not, I don't know. I'm gonna do a fireball. Let's have a fireball. Oh, yeah. Parable of Whale. Ah, yes, of course, these are the scroll thieves. Ivan's grimoire. Sun-touched male of Hiron Wrath. The paladin Hiron Wrath came across a countryside village beset by ghouls, and made it his life's work to rid the world of the undead. He believed that their very existence was a blasphemy against the god and a scourge on all kith, and having observed the creatures prowling by night and skulking in dark places, he fell prey to the then common misconceptions about their nature. He had his order create armor that shone with the light of the sun, believing them vulnerable to daylight. Unfortunately, he tested his theory in cleansing a crowded vampire den, discovering too late that the light only alerted the creatures to his presence. Published research by Animancers has since dispelled many of the dangerous myths surrounding the undead. So, grant Sunbeam. What does Sunbeam do? Deep arrest. Burn damage, blinded. Nice. 50% poison to create. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, it'll do. Scroll of Whale. Scroll at first appears to be gibberish as a collection of symbols and characters within. We now have a connection between them. As you study them, however, you can swear that the characters begin to move. Slowly, almost imperceptibly. They shift and crisscross and realign, and you are able to read the text. The simpleton seeks out a wise man, sad to know the answer to every question. Please, says the simpleton, you have to help me. The world terrifies me, and I wake each morning, and I don't know why. I make choices each day, and I don't know what will happen as a result. I go to sleep each night, and I don't know whether it will be my last. When the simpleton finishes, he notices that the wise man is weeping. The simpleton apologizes profusely and asks the wise man what he said to upset him. The wise man shakes his head and wipes the tears from his eyes. He answers, "Some people have all the luck." Blessed is the mind too small for doubt, isn't it? As you take the scroll, you hear a voice. You have found it. Now lose it again. Hi, Archivist. Criminal asked me to bring this back. Would you appear as a dwarf? Or a god? You think this theft was an accident? The voice seems to shift, as if the speaker was constantly shifting age, race, and sex. My relics were never to be meant to stay in one place for long. Value thing gives us out a search. Is it. They are meant to be lost and found. Skull it's neath its bury. Take it to the Black Meadow. Find the drake that faces east and. Okay. So it might not have been whale, but I imagine that the archivist will be like, yeah, that's like, that's a whale. Just do it. And yeah, I don't want any harm to come to someone who, if I do bring it to them, to the archive, and they're like, oh yeah, you brought this scroll to us, and it explodes. Yeah, I don't really need that. Is there anything here? No. So where do I have to take the scroll? Black Meadow. The skull of the drake looking east. I know where that is, yeah. So we inspected that body earlier. Yeah. So... yeah. So, but the thing is that, like, the transition from, like, Fallout to... from a CRPG to a first-person shooter was radical for the time. We've kind of seen that now. It's a different... it's the same developers. Like, Obsidian is still, like, the makers of Pillars of Eternity, are the makers of Avowed. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't called it, like, something like Pillars of Eternity Avowed. You're a soul. You see a group of robed figures sitting next to a fire. This woman, much younger and smaller, sits with them. They're discussing travel and making plans, deciding which road to get them to their destination fastest. A rustling noise catches the attention of several members of the group, and they stand, watching over the fire, straining against the darkness to see. An enormous shadowy figure makes its way to the camp, and the darkness slowly parts against the firelight to reveal who it is. Many members of the group stand, readying weapons. Others quietly invoke their god, preparing spells for battle. The girl looks around, confused, and the man sitting next to her stands, holding out his arms. He chastises the others in the group for not showing the proper hospitality to a stranger. The man walks towards the ogre, hand extended, speaking words of its welcome in its own tongue. The ogre stares at the man for a brief moment. Then, with a swiftness seemingly unnatural for a being of its size, it swings the club it had been dragging behind itself. It connects with the man's head, causing a wet, crushing sound. Every killing blow in fiction is described as a wet something sound. It's always wet. A wet thunk, a wet crushing sound, a wet crash, you know, a wet crack, you know. The woman to the girl's right screams and rushes to the man's side, covering half the distance before the man has even fallen to the ground. From the darkness all around the group, terrifying and blood-curdling shouts answer to the screams of those in the camp as more figures approach through the darkness. Oh, oh, camping supplies. Maxed out. There are mods, actually, that give the characters lore-friendly names. Oh, it's another godlike, I think. Yay. I do appreciate, like, I'm going on about other godlikes when I'm a godlike. I had a specific character in mind, so that's why I went for the death godlike. If I knew how many there were going to be, I would not have gone for them. For a death godlike, something else. Probably a human, come to think of it. So yeah. Aha! All soulbound upgrades are completed. So now I get a greater accuracy, 30% damage, per encounter, nice, plus 3 resolve. It's just amazing. I love it. There we are. I'll just So I think Andra is the god of the sea, from what I understand. Of the water. If I know we don't need to go that way, we can just go this way. The world map here. Yeah. So, I don't think it's going to be too bad a game, if I'm honest, this Avowed. I think, like, with the Outer Worlds, it'll probably come out and it'll be like, it's fine. You know. I don't think it's going to be anything special. And I think it's going to be like one of those things where it's like...
Well?
Under the skull of the drake looking east.
Of course.
That's looking west. Haha! That's the one looking east. You know what? I know what's going to happen if I do this. I'm going to bury the skull and that dragon's going to rise up in it. And then we're going to fight it. Or it's going to cause chaos and... I'm just guessing. But yeah. Where's the scroll? As you uncover the ancient scroll with the last handful of spoil, the shifting voice speaks in your head once more. Well done, Watcher. Parable of Whale. Whoever will want to know what happens to a bishop. I wonder how she'll take it. Oh dear! Where did we go? Was it Heritage Hill? I think, or Breckenbrae? Copper Lane, I think it was. Let's go there. And hopefully we've got some progress on our building. Oh, I've been given a... My darling dearest bought me a fidget ring. I fucking love it. It's fantastic. Oh, it's just so full. Oh, I love it. Hopefully I'm allowed to work because it's going to be inseparable from this thing, I think. Let's have a look. So I think that was built, wasn't it, the barracks? Yes, good. So we can hire people. Great. The curtain walls are going to be a longer time to do, but they're some of the longest upgrades. They're going to be the best ones to go for. So they're also the most expensive ones, pretty much. So if I go for those, they increase my security. The West Curtain Wall provides a bailiwick protection from West Curtain for the best. South Curtain Wall. Yeah, let's go for one of the walls. So when we next go back to Caed Nua, we can see our prisoner. And yeah. Yeah, I think Val's gonna be good, but I think it's gonna be like the Outer Worlds, where like it took Starfield to come out for me to really like Outer Worlds, and even then I'm like, it's okay. It's like I've kind of got bored, but I've uninstalled it now just because I'm like, I can't take this anymore. I can't bear this game anymore. It's just like it's just the same over and over again. I'm like, I just can't take it. So yeah, I enjoyed it, but it's like I've had enough of it. It's meant to be quite a short game, and it's still too long. There's just way too much running around and fighting the same enemies, and yeah, it's not good. I just
Hello.
I found the scroll, but where lets me to hide it again? You expect me to believe a yarn like that? You said yourself it would foolish yourself in the God of Secrets. Well, that's the God of Truths and of Hidden and Revealed. Does this really seem strange? You said yourself it were foolish to steal from the God of Secrets. Yet that didn't stop those thieves from trying, and it apparently hasn't stopped you either. Law 6. You read the parable yourself. Well, we've wanted hidden discovered anew. Decades of service, and Whale is still a mystery even to me. But I see your point. You've aided the obscured faithfully. So we've got some experience, and reputation has improved. Whale is both a keeper and a discoverer of secrets. May this hood aid you in revealing what is obscured, and keep you hidden from those who would wish you harm. Footpad's hood. You're also free to visit the Elder Archives and take whatever books or scrolls you would find in the open. Spreading and circulating new mysteries is part of our service to the obscured. So yeah. So now we're free to take books. Well. What? Eh? It's saying this is theft. The many faces of Parath I think I've got. The Midwife's Memoirs. I've been caught stealing, I've lost reputation. Okay, so I can't take any books, actually. And that is one that I really do want, actually, the Midwife's Memoirs, because I think that's going to be quite useful. Because I think one of the characters that we're going to find to join our party, and it's going to be tough to decide who she's going to replace, is actually a midwife.
What, Kiki?
The Elder Archives, okay.
As you wish.
This music is used by the DM in D&D as well. Ah. There's the Elder Archives. These are the books we can have. Okay. There's a penguin. Well, the scrolls there, so I'll take those. I found, okay, 196 copper. Oh dear.
Aye?
Triggered a trap.
What is it?
There's a Pangdrum. A heavy old book that carries the dust of centuries. The pages are as fine and as thin as onion skin covered with obscure diagrams and notes on ornamency. Okay.
As you wish.
Let's see what lies this way.
Weapon discovers a Capandrum. Mention the name Pangram to anyone with even a passing knowledge of animancy, and you could find yourself in for a very long discussion. Publicly reviled, but privately lauded as a hero and genius, Pangram's history is at turns revolutionary, horrific, and mysterious. Pangram was fascinated, some might say obsessed, with the concept of animancy. It consumed his life as he dedicated everything to understand it. He would frequently travel to Earglanfith and the Deerwood to visit Ingwithan ruins. There he would take notes and make sketches, bringing anything back with him that he could find to help him unlock the mysteries. After years of studies, Pangram reached the point where he could no longer conduct research on his own, and he took on an assistant, Helig of Thane. Soon Helig was making trips to Earglanfith and Pangramstead, gathering knowledge while Pangram stayed behind to experiment. This partnership quickly bore fruit, and Pangram made a breakthrough, one that would irrevocably change his life, the general attitude about animacy forever. While the specifics of his experimentation will never truly be known, the rumours and stories that circulate tell that he had set out inquiries, asking for live subjects for help with a more dangerous experiment that might change their life, or might end it. Those who were already dying were especially encouraged to apply. Response was overwhelming, and Pangram had his pick of numerous willing bodies. That is, when he had his breakthrough. He discovered a way to fix a soul, anchoring it to its bodies so it couldn't leave after death. He had discovered eternal life. His research and life's work had resulted in the single greatest discovery that animancy could hope for. His findings were published and quickly spread through Valia and beyond. While some groups, the Wudican Church, for example, decried his work as nothing more than blasphemy and heresy. Many put it to practice. Everyone wanted the chance at immortality. But everything comes with a cost. It quickly became apparent that simply restraining the soul, while keeping the person technically alive, was doing nothing for the body, which continued to decay, devolving and warping the soul, now trapped inside it. The creatures he created were dangerous, carnivorous beasts that killed brutally and indiscriminately. The backlash was ruthless. The practice of Pangram's discoveries was outlawed. His works were collected and burned. He and Helig were branded heretics and hunted, chased from town to town until Pangram simply vanished. Helig was tracked down, captured, and brought to trial for the atrocities committed against Valia and its people. The trial was barely more than a formality to bring charges against him, as everyone knew what hand he had played in the disaster. He was sent to prison for years, but eventually released once public outrage had died down. Not long after his parole, he disappeared as well. Occasionally, talk surfaces that a copy of Pangram's theories have been found, untouched by the purging of flames that destroyed its brothers. The rumours seldom end up being more than that. Many groups and wealthy individuals have formed, sending out a call to anyone who will listen. Find us a copy of the theorems. They offer gold, jewels, status, anything that can entice adventurers to help them achieve their goals. For there are those who would give anything as a chance for immortality, even become a monster. It's quite interesting. Animancy in the modern age. I want to read a bit more about the animancy stuff, because this is going to be very important, and it's essentially the crux of the entire first game. Less so in the second game. As a bit of a recap, what's happened is, so the premise of the game right now is there's something called the Hollowborn Crisis. And the Hollowborn Crisis is where children are being born without souls. And souls are essentially, when you are born, a soul comes from the wheel. The wheel spins around and around like that. And it spins fast and fast and fast, and souls go pew 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 into all the different bodies, right? However, that's not been happening lately. And animancy has been blamed for this. So when you die, your soul goes to the wheel, and it goes wee 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 wee, and then waits for a body to inhabit, and then go pew like that. And that's what really gives the body life, personality, and joy, and hate, and passion. You know? That yes, a body can function without a soul, but it's a very miserable, dull life. So yes, the soul is like it powers the body. And we have the ability to read souls. Let's real quick. Anything going on here? Oh, whistling in the reeds completed. Durance completed. Returns to the stronghold. Red reed wand, money, items, spoils away in the Great Hall treasury chest. Nice. Oh. Okay. And Durance has discovered some stuff. So we've got this wand, two-handed, nice. Grants nature's terror. Okay, so after several more abductions at Zerkina Lake, Durance discovered that a previously unknown beast was behind the attacks. A strange ruby beetle would grab the locals and feed on their worst memories. The victims would initially fight back, they would quickly enter a blissful state and drop their resistance. Unfortunately, the beetle would eventually devour all of their memories, leaving their minds vacant and broken off from the world. Durance was able to shut down the beetle to kill it. Locals were relieved to hear that the beetle had been killed, but dismayed to learn that their hatched eggs were discovered in the nest. As a parting gift, a philosopher from Zokian Monastery created a wand for Durance from one of the beautiful red reeds along the lake. So we got some experience, we got some money, and we got an item. Nice. So we can collect that later. Otherwise, we're just waiting on the keep to be the Southern World built. Yeah. So our character, however, is one that has been affected by a Biowick, a storm of souls, essentially, that are caused by these Ingwithan machines that we saw at the beginning of the game. And yeah, it seems to be sucking up souls. So, Animancy is a science both respected and reviled, sometimes by the same person. For all the research on the topic, we still know so little. Control over life itself, something Animancy have been working on for hundreds of years. There are no real records of how the practice of Animancy was first discovered, but once the spark of knowledge ignited, there was no stopping its inevitable discoveries. In 2260 AI, Animancers, as a result of their extensive research, successfully contained and transferred a soul. The subject of the experiment, whose name is unknown, was young and wealthy but infirm. The idea was to move his soul from the dying body of that and into that of a recently deceased man who had suffered an accident. The new body, bearing only slight decay, would house the soul, giving the man a much better life. The outcome of this experiment resulted in the condemnation and outlaw of Animancy in the Adirian Empire. Again, while we have no true records of what happened, as they were all destroyed after Animancy was outlawed, a journal was discovered, a makeshift confession by one of the participants. Excerpts of the journal follow. 2260 AI, from Prima 16. It is done, and the gods forgive us for our arrogance. I am not sure what I was expecting, certainly not that, but what did any of us expect? Still, behind the revulsion there is a sense of pride, something I can't deny. All the research, the studying, everything we've worked for. We thought we'd changed the world. How it's changed! All was in place. The twisted form lying on the table next to its new vessel, the equipment to prepare, the tinctures and potions all carefully crafted, every detail painstakingly organized. To ensure success, we most assuredly succeeded. The procedure went as it should. The soul extracted from the old body, held, bound in place to prevent it from moving on. And the next step, transferred to the fresh vessel, which was beautiful and terrifying. I listened as they spoke the words of the binding. I watched the soul move. Not the soul itself, of course, but the vapor we used to detect it, as it lowered into the vessel. A gentle luminescence covered the body, and then nothing. Silence, darkness. I held my breath, afraid that even the slightest disturbance would destroy all our hard work. Then motion. Then, dear gods, then... blood! How did I survive? I do not know. The vessel rose from the slab and entered the room, breathed. And the room breathed. Every person crowded around the tables exhaled. Some cheered. We have made life from death. We have become eternal. The body closed its eyes and tilted its head, looking for all purposes to be listening for something, or to it. Its eyes popped open, and it moved. Its lips peeled back from its teeth in a horrible expression of fury. It fell on the nearest man, tearing his throat, knocking him to the ground. Then the room erupted in screams, shouts, and the flurries of bodies running, pushing, doing everything in their power to get away from the creature sitting on their colleague. But right before that happened, in a split second before the chaos, when there was nothing in the air but a stunned, terrified silence, I heard it, sitting there on his chest, a face at his neck. It was feasting. So, Animancy is almost like the modern Frankenstein. Yeah. And if you want a way to remember your Frankensteins and your monster, if you want to remember the difference between intelligence and wisdom, intelligence tells you that Frankenstein is the monster.
Keeping an eye out.
Frankenstein is not the monster, but wisdom tells you Frankenstein is the monster. The Midwife's Memoirs. Let's just keep that on us. So, if I hadn't mentioned before, yes, there are mods that give the Kickstarter pack of characters lore-appropriate names. If that's your sort of thing. Yeah, I don't agree with their removal. You know, their contribution is just as significant as else's.
He's a good boy who needs his belly scratched.
Yeah, and I think there is a lot of hero worship of Josh Sawyer as well, lead developer. I just want to go to Panis house as well and just see if all is better here. See if here his missus are reconciled after the spef. Excuse me, addiction. Well, the druggies have been turfed out. Hello again. I can't thank you enough. I have my camera back. Excuse me. With that, I'll be on the mend in no time. With that discount, like I promised. You know what? I'll buy his fur. I don't want you carrying it again. Alright. You got your 680 cap pans. Hopefully that can help you afford this lifestyle. Who exactly needs a house that big? I have no idea. Good God. Oh yeah, a little strange thing that I learned. In the Seinfeld TV show, as if I need to actually say what Seinfeld is.
Preoccupied with details, I laugh. Almost consumed by them, I'd say.
Once you've seen a colleague misuse Archimede's capricious hex, you learn an appreciation for details.
This sounds like wizard talk, so I'll just take your word for it.
Yeah, yeah, the hallway would go straight through the kitchen. Someone actually did like the like a 3D diagram showing like it's impossible because the hallway is meant to be straight, and it would run straight through its kitchen if yeah. So I don't know. I am a fountain of knowledge, am I not? I can't do... Oh, I could do clandestine cargo, maybe. The sanitarium. Endless paths. Kinda want. Yeah, let's just go to the sanitarium. Yeah, rather grim place, but pretty much one of the few places where they can actually do their experiments. The Animancers. So yeah, it's very Shelley of the Animancers, but very cool. I like the idea. I know some people turn up their nose at the idea of like, oh, I'm too, like, it's a fantasy setting, but I'm too embarrassed to call magic, so I'm just gonna call it animancy or whatever. Then I get that, but I don't know. It works here. It didn't.
Good day to you.
The theorems. You will never believe what I found. You, Lady of Lament, you really found it. It crackles the musty tome like a newborn. Cradles the musty tome like a newborn. Can't believe it. It really exists. I expect you. Thank you so much. This will be invaluable. What's turns to the book, but at the last moment she remembers herself and gives you a bag of coin. I was glad to help. Benevolent. You, the animator who's been buying relics from Amazo. Okay. There we go. These charming windows are reinforced with iron bars and double thickness of glass. Oh. Yeah. It's not a bad looking place, to be honest. Ah. Expecting it to be a bit more grotty and grimy, you know, like some of the locations of Baldur's Gate 2. Yeah, first level. Yeah. Yeah, I will say that, like, I sort of feel... Warden, an animancer from the Republic's Chancellor has requested a visit. Extend a formal invitation. See to it the necessary preparations are made. Of course. Well. Interesting. Yeah, so, like, let's have a look around. The, yeah, speaking of Baldur's Gate 2, like I was saying before, like, how that game is much better at sort of guiding you to all this stuff, but yeah, this will be interesting to read. But yeah, Pillars of Eternity, you're kind of just chasing after answers, and stories that have already happened. And there aren't that many events that you really get involved in, I'm afraid. So, but we're coming up to one that we are. Psalm to Utica. Ye exileless, ye broken, fear not the vengeance of the burned queen. She watches from her throne, ever vigilant. She hears the oath thou doth speak at her altar. She hears the oath thou doth speak in thine home. She hears the oath thou doth speak in the dark. For ye who would keep thy word, thou shalt escape the justice of her gaze. Beware, ye liars, ye unfaithful. Beware, ye with a hardened heart. Beware, for the eye of Utica will not be blinded. She hears the sundered oath. She is not fooled by the winding path. She attends the broken promise. She sees the deceiver. There is no shadow too dark. Her gaze will find thee. Her justice will not be restrained. The fires of justice will never be quenched. The throne will crack, the law will burn, but the queen that always will be, that was will always be. Speak not an untruth, or thy tongue will be bound. Remember thy place. Remember thine oath. Remember thy queen. Where's Wife's Memoirs? I'll take another copy of that. Oh, god damn. If I knew there was a copy that I didn't have to go stealing. Let's attack poetry. Compilation. Most unfortunate tale, yeah, compelling tragedy. So, I do like reading in law books. This man's soul was torn by a biowick. As you can see, the patient is unresponsive, common after soul trauma. That's what happened to us. But we survived somehow. The Anomancer places a small stone upon the patient's forehead. A portion of his soul is recovered near his body. We use his soul as a vessel of the transfer. Can you hear me, Oswin? The patient's eyes slowly open, but they are panicked, while expression watches over him. Unfortunately, the extended disassociation has permanent side effects. The patient becomes more agitated, grunting and moaning as he tugs at his bonds. He looks at. With further research, we're confident that we'll be able to rehabilitate patients like Oswin. Sink my open. Farm become God. This is going to be interesting to read. With mention of the name Rodney, most folks think only one word. Godhammer. While this event echoes through the ages and is still felt years after the destruction of Yvonne Dio Bridge, Rodwin's humble beginnings belie the powerful force he would grow into. Rodwin lived in an unassuming life in the remote area of Red Surus, the son of warless farmers. He toiled in the fields alongside his father for 22 years until his father's death. The farm then fell for him to run. He considered selling, but with no other skills upon which to draw, so he set upon a path of vodeless farmer's will. Nothing of note had been recorded in Rodwin's life until 4 years after his father's death. One day, while working the fields, Rodwin's life was irrevocably changed. In his words, night was falling, the fingers of dusk already gripping the sky. The sun had dipped behind the world's edge, and stars were peeking from beyond the shroud. The day was still, and the darkness had blanketed the field. I placed my last harvest of the day in the collection pile when from behind me rose a brilliant light. I turned, fear in my breast, not knowing what could have caused such intense radiance. Behind me stood a blazing figure, resplendent in glory. Its white flesh glowed with a luminescent radiance, its head in a blinding ball of light, brighter than the sun of mid-year. I averted my gaze, afraid I would be struck down for daring to gaze upon such a creature. A sudden peace washed over me, sweeping away my fear, leaving my troubled soul tranquil. A loving warmth wrapped its arms around me. A voice spoke to me as I stood, transfixed, trying to both see this glorious being and avoid its dazzling scrutiny. "Fear not," it said to me, "for you are chosen above all others. You will be the light to bring about the rebirth of an empire." It then held out its hand and bestowed me a vision of power, such that I scarcely could contain it. Rodwin, disheveled and dirty, stumbled into his village the next morning, telling all who would listen about the miracle that happened in his fields. Aethus himself, he claimed, had appeared to him. He was to punish the Aediran governor for leading his people into ruin. A way would be provided, and those faithful who helped would be blessed with the divinity manifested. Villagers ignored him, convinced the loss of his parents had broken his mind. But Rodwin continued to preach the power of Aethus and the corruption of the governor, eventually earning him the ire of the locals. His confrontations with the villagers had a turning point one day in mid-autumn. A crowd had gathered around Rodwin, cheering him and telling him to leave the village. The flawless crop that season was particularly light, and the villagers blamed Rodwin, saying he had angered the gods, particularly Aethus, with his blasphemy. They backed him into one of the withered fields, yelling at him to go. Accounts of the inciting action are hazy. Some say a stone was thrown, others say he was pushed, others say he was simply tripped over a dry root sticking from the ground. Regardless of the cause, Rodwin landed face down on the ground, villagers standing over him laughing. "Enough!" a voice, not Rodwin's, boomed across the field. Rodwin looked up at the crowd, his eyes glowing with a blinding light. He stood, but did not stand. One moment he was on the ground, and the next he was standing before the crowd who cowed before him. You dare deny me? The voice spoke through Widewind's mouth. You dare refuse my servant? Widewind's arms raised, beginning to luminesce. You dare require proof? His arms went down, out to his sides. Never ask again, lest you be burnt in the light of the new dawn. There was a flash of light from Widewind's eyes and hands, and the entire field sprang to life. The once dried and brittle plants became full, lush, and verdant. The crowd was silent. From somewhere in the back came a call of, "Praise Aethys!" And then all fell to their knees in front of Widewin. Farmer turned guard. Most interesting. So, we actually see this story of Widewin there. I thought Aethys was like one of the more like chilled out and in tune with the mortals gods, and like demanding someone to how dare they request proof? That doesn't sound very Aethys. I think there's a bit of a conspiracy there. I think someone, another god, has manipulated that series of events and blamed it on Aethys, maybe. But who knows? Remember, not all things in this book in this game are canon, but not all canonicity is true. You will notice this with Warhammer 40k. All the books, all the novels are canon. Well, except 3 of them. The very early, like 3 very earliest ones. There are 3 books that are not canon, but are they all true? I think even Alfarius Omegon, when he was writing his memoirs, he said, "Look, I am Alfarius. I am a liar. And I am constantly lying. And you cannot know if this book is true. I am Alfarius. And so are you." Head Warden Ethelmar. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down and blinking over the bustle of hurried academics pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you can sense across from the room. There's a human soul stored beneath the stonework. You feel its attention turn towards you. "It has been some time since a warrior graced these halls." His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. "I am envious of your natural insight, traveller. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in life. Now, what is it that has brought you to my sanitarium?" Are you the animator who's been buying relics from it? I don't think I should ask him. I'm curious as to how you've come to be in your present state. "In the statue, you mean? Well, I was old, and it seemed wrong to me. A lifetime spent in pursuit of discovery, only to lose it all in death. Somewhere, someday, I'd wake up in a new body none the wiser, pursue a different course entirely. All that experience wasted. If we are to unearth the principles behind our existence, it will be in spite of our condition. Of that I am quite sure. To live on as part of something I have helped build seemed to me a better legacy than what nature had in store. The transfer itself was quite simple as our teachings go, and for that I am quite grateful. Playing with souls is far easier to accept when they are not your own." Very true. "I too miss being able to take an active role in the scholarly efforts here. Now and again one of our animators will humour me and consult over some problem. But they are a jealous breed and are too often afraid to elaborate. If you are considering it yourself, I could tell you that it isn't for the easily bored." Talk about the sanitarium. "A history lesson. This is a rare pleasure. Those come in here only concerned with cheating death in one way or another. We are an old institution as the Deerwood goes. This is our 94th year. That's interesting. As with many cities, the growth of Defiance Bay brought with it a host of problems. The worst was that those born with, shall we say, ill-favoured souls came to populate its streets in droves. Thus the sanitarium. Brackenbury was a natural fit. It was growing, but there was also a lot of money here back then. This place owes its survival to the curiosities of the wealthy more than anything, I think. Our founding came at a time of great suspicion, with animancy much like today. So much progress has been lost with mishaps of a few careless practitioners. But in time, it was forgotten, as all things are. Since then, we have been at the forefront of animancy's resurgence. We have played host to many gifted researchers and pushed boundaries of our knowledge in ways never thought possible. Some of the first safe transferences were done here. We have pioneered work in soul purification, lineage analysis, preservation. It's quite a list, if you'll pardon my pride. Today it's, well, I can't exactly say it's the same. There's been some who push to shut us down. It comes from Deerwood's most excitable denizens, whose minds are more passionate than thoughtful, I'm afraid. People see this legacy, and they see it involves something they don't understand. So it's natural for them to suspect that some people whose understanding exceeds theirs. It looks to them like we're hiding something. We have a representative in the palace this very moment, defending the entire science of animancy at the hearing before the Duke. Absurd as it sounds, if it does not go well, it could well be the end of animancy in the Deerwood. I fear Ava will be swayed by all this unrest, irrational though it may be. We shall see. Okay. Dr. Nans.
How do you do?
Nancy warmly pursues the shells with the quickness and energy that belie her age. I'm afraid I don't practice anymore, child. Too busy with my research. A mortal sent me. This is your some sets of pieces we found. That chatty old fishwife's been blabbing about me, I see. Never trust your secrets to a man with so much salt in his beard. Okay. Anyway, let's see what you got. She examines the scepter. Her eyes hooded by crinkled flesh. Your mantle told you. True. I'll buy this. Unfortunately, a broken scepter isn't as valuable as it may have led you to believe. She steals a glance at your face, but her fingers tighten around the piece in her hands. I'll take it off you for 500. Law 4. Nonsense. This could easily be repaired by some other proper skills. Her eyes flash under the sagging lids. I've got the skills, all right. And you know more than the average relic hunter, I see. Making it whole again is a matter of alchemy. Expensive alchemy. I've got to soak the broken ends in the fiend's blood compound to reconnect them. Never mind the embalming work to restore the enchantments. I could do it to the tune of 1,800 pounds. I'm going to use my resolve 13. I'm giving you a rare opportunity to work with an Ingwithan scepter. Surely you can bring the price down. Aye, perhaps if you want to bargain and haggle with every dragonblood vendor and import merchant in the city. She puffs her sagging cheeks. Very well, you can have the satisfaction of working an old woman to an early grave for only 1,500. 1,500 it is. I expect you'll want to watch and see that your money's put to good worth. Better get comfortable then. She then lays out a range of powders, potions, and obscure ingredients on her desk. After what feels like hours, she returns to the main hall with you and presents the scepter. Looking at it, you'd never know it was being broken in the first place. This may be the finest work I've ever done, if I may say so, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. Examining a piece like this is a dream come true for someone in my field. Take good care of it. Can I help you with something else? What do you do here? I'm an animancer. I used to adventure on all kinds of underfunded and ill-fated trips out of the expedition hall when I was your age, but lately I've found research better suited to my current pace. She pats a creaking knee and laughs. I'd like to know more about the sanitarium. It's the official centre of animancy in the Defiance Bay, founded in 2729. And before you get saucy, no, I wasn't around at that time. It was built to treat ailments of the mind and soul. Important sort of place to have in a growing city, and its construction marked the end of the animancy slowdown that followed the Bell Reach incident. Bell Reach incident? She shakes her head. Terrible setback for the discipline. Researcher working outside of Bale Marsh shattered the souls of a dozen volunteers. Her voice rose to a growl. Of course, we'll never know exactly what went wrong because the mob tore him to pieces. This mishap bears some of the blame for the slow pace of research in the 2.5 decades that followed, but it also helped concentrate practicing animancers here in Defiance Bay. Farewell. So, we've got the Inquithan Scepter. So it's fast, range 10 meters, so it does more damage. Its accuracy and 20% attack speed. Oh, pickle. Yes. So, then there's added for clandestine cargo. Okay. So we can't do that one yet. A lot of this stuff. Oh, hang on. Oh, yes, that was going to be a pain in the ass. We need to improve our reputation. Durance, we can't really do anything with until we've done this. That's the main quest. Master below, no. The cliffs, no. Search for Rowena. Yeah, that's part of it anyway. Help Pelagina. Twin Elms, we've got to get to Twin Elms, it's going to be a while yet. Cinders of Faith. Travel to a cave. Expedition Hall. Caed Nua. Okay, so I think we're just going to keep looking in the sanitarium, talking to NPCs, and then...
How do you do?
A bald man with a crooked nose gestures in demonstration over the still body of a patient before a small gathering of interesting onlookers. Feeling your gaze, he pauses his description. You come to sit in? Let's know more about the sanitarium. He gives an eager nod. It's the mission that attracted me here. The treatment of the disturbed. No one else seems to care about them. Here, they've worked wonders for them. I've seen people cured of insatiable hungers and uncontrollable urges. I've seen the crippled walk and the dysphoric smile, all within these walls. Though the thought that the Duke might put an end to it in a single order gives me up at night. Oh, okay.
Good day, stranger.
What did you do here? Closest we are to the Glenfathom Wilds, we get a number of biowick maimings every year. Survivors dealing with complications from exposure. This fellow here is a severe case. His essence is a mere whisper of what it was. I am early in my research. I am beginning to understand how they work. In time, I hope we will find a way to protect people from the storm's effects. Okay. Anything else of interest around here? Let's go downstairs. Have a look. This is the sanitarium proper. Belasiege. Woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She just mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. She walks into you. Hey, Currency! Here I am! Looking so hard, Francis, in my research that I do not see the kith standing in front of me. What can I do? What do you do here? Go to my research grant, I study awakenings. subliminating pre-awakened souls that has been one of Amante's greatest successes, and I am working on a method to replicate the process of awakened souls. But the truth is, I always find a few suitable subjects here. Whiteman's legacy has left plenty of awakened souls, but most are too broken for study. I fear I will return to reviewer with nothing to show for my efforts. I'm awakened. I've been recalling flashes in my past life. Most interesting, but not the kind of awakening I can study, I'm afraid. Someone whose awakened soul can be triggered with the predictable stimuli. Souls such as these tend to oh dear, writing slip there. Tend to manifest as alternative personas in the host. And thank you for the offer. You know, I learned more about animosity in the early republics. It is a dynamic and respected field. Even the Bale Reach incident did little to slow it, he shrugs. But people in the republics are more accepting of risk, less superstitious, ready to try anything that shows promise. Vera's, though much of the research is performed only for the wealthy clients, Devon's base community focuses more on the public good. It's a shame. People should have the gods, Francis. It's a shame that so many are hostile towards animacy. It is, but this is the way that I would. The people here are fierce about their sovereignty, but they are not so independent from their Adiran brothers and their Glanfathan neighbours they would like to think. They rely too much on the mysterious workings of the gods and fear the very advances they need. In all fairness, they've also suffered from animacy. It doesn't excuse their behaviour, it's easy to understand. Yeah. Yes, it's throng power. Modred. Mansa scrawls furiously on a parchment scroll, while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scroll, he looks up with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Hail and well met.
Can I help you? He forces a polite smile. What are you working on? My area of focus is whites. More specifically, how to cure them. That's a white. A hollowborn who received a transplanted animal soul during infancy. One of Animance's early efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. He removes his spectacles and wipes his brow. They show signs of a developmental abnormalities throughout their childhood, but when they reach adolescence, they become aggressive, feral, but still victims in need of care. Transplanting animal souls into children seems like an odd solution. We, Animancers, were trying to do something different about the crisis, rather than letting it swallow a generation of children. He stares at a fixed point of the fair wall. And despite the controversy, it only went so far because, well, at first it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seemed aware of their surroundings, of their families. He takes a slow breath. The complications don't begin until puberty. But that's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous. But we pay dearly for our mistake. I promise you. Angry mobs hunting down animancers and burn down their homes, with them still on our side often as not. People took to calling it the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for that. But we wanted to stop the legacy as much as anyone. The public begged us for help, and we did the best we could. I don't know if that absolves us. Why do you study whites? What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could be healed, the lives that could be restored. What could be more important? His face is reddened as he turns away from you for moments. Animancy has an answer here. I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. Good. Be quick about it. Don't touch anything. Sanitarium has the expositability. I don't. Oh, okay.
Keeping an eye out.
Something about this Modred's trunk, and even then I think Modred is a character. His name's familiar. Some of the trunk. Frequently used and moved throughout the laboratory despite its size. Oh, I knew as soon as I read like that, like this just been moving it, so there's something in here for the trunk. I need to find a key.
Hello? Hello?
Who's got the highest stealth skill? Like how we're all trying to sneak around, like none of us actually can. I think you got the highest stealth.
I'll take a look.
Welcome.
Slow and silent.
No, but he can see me.
Well,
So yeah, so I think there is something in this, in that trunk. Scarlet claw marks. Okay. Okay, we might have to come back there later. But yeah. Something's not right about that chest. Not right at all. I suspect that there's a patient in there. Yeah. What I like about Obsidian's writing is that they often display factions in a multiple ways. It's something as well that like Disco Elysium did really well as well.
You think we could get another dog? Keep this one company? Just a thought.
Is Hadra House. Still moving this way. Yeah, it's like in New Vegas, people like loads of people have differing opinions on the NCR. They have differing opinions on Caesar's Legion. They have different opinions on House, the Strip, Independence, all this sort of thing. Here, Animancers will sometimes omit the truth of certain things, or they will talk about, you know, or they will admit to the truth of things.
Hello.
Karen. This seems like a familiar place. The old man is surrounded by books and scrolls. His wiry hair stands nearly on end. His ears prick up as you approach. You carry whispers. Caed Nua, Gilded Veil. Old faces indeed. How did you know? There's a cipher. It's my job to know these things. You carry the whiff of ancients. What else can you tell me? Not as much as I'd like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Webb require me to focus my talents elsewhere. Regards the table with piles of scrolls. Brings you to Dunwood Row. It looks like you could, what are you so busy with? Hollowborn, growing unrest, and the ever-present political intrigues. There's so many missing souls, the missing persons are the least of our concerns these days. What about your skills? I check for soul connections, looking for lost things, missing things, or troublesome things, particularly where people of power and influence are concerned. I'm a safer. In our Glenfarth, we once known as the Brishelgwen. Mind Hunters. Nice title, yes, but it wasn't until Animancers began working with my kind 40 years ago that we truly understood our power. Ciphers are really cool. They're my sort of favourite class, and I recommend it if you're going to play watch it, play a Cipher. Ciphers have the ability to, like, if they pick up like a murder weapon, they can know about the murder weapon. It's like, almost like reading a soul, the way the watch does, but it can tell you more about things. The Engwyffans did not really appreciate the power that Ciphers brought to the table. They massively underestimated them. And that was their sort of undoing. Until they were welcomed into society and did a bit more for them. Now we make some of the best detectives in the world. Tracing souls, we can look at a person and see where they have been, or look at a weapon and see who's touched it. His nose twitches as he looks at you. Useful for solving crimes, as you can imagine. Looks like you could use some help. Not at liberty to discuss my work, unfortunately. Done over here as only a civilian would need the competence to lay to work before I could share. There he is. This is even older than Defiance Bay. Wow, okay. Okay, so I think it's like one of the factions in Defiance Bay. So yeah, most interesting people. But I just want to keep having a look around, get to know these people, and understand things. I think it's like a spy network of some sort. One of the many families, I guess. If I was in charge of 100 House, she really deals with anyone personally. No secret in Devour Spain, and while we're around. Okay. Can't go through there. Just over here. Okay, right, that's fine. So, it doesn't seem to be anything here at the moment. We can move on. I think I've got... I don't know how much more playtime I've got, but... yeah, I would like to make a bit more progress on the main quest. Because there's only so much that we can really do going forward. And I think I could maybe do a leveling up. I don't know, let's see.
But
Let's...
you to return home.
The safety of the Republics is being decided here. If I do what needs to be done, there'll be time enough to beg forgiveness when the dust settles.
You must do what you feel is best.
So, I'm going to go to the Charred Barrel, I'm going to rest up. We'll do a bit more quest. God, I must say, I'm absolutely loving reading the lore. I love reading the lore books. They're so fun. And, yeah, I'm really enjoying my time with this, not gonna lie.
How do you do?
Show me a menu. It will stay. No, no, actually, no. Criminals get away. Which way to us? There we go. Yeah, right.
I'll grant you that animancy has had its failures, Bowel Reach among them. But does that warrant attacks on innocent practitioners? Superstitious kith have spilled their share of blood.
That's no comparison. Animancers have the advantage of education, and with that comes authority and responsibility.
I have to say, it's wonderful to have someone to debate with. You'd think they'd be more welcoming of it at the law college.
Or we could enjoy a glass of wine and a comfortable silence.
Okay. Oh, we've actually got a fair bit more to explore. We've got this place here, Searing Falls. We've got to go to the gorge there, I think, to get to the village. And then Twin Elms is like one of the bigger locations as well. But we don't need to go that way just yet. Where am I going now? Copper Lane. I'm going to get myself in position, I'm going to excuse myself, and then I'm going to continue with a bit more of the main quest. Let's get down again. Hopefully we're high enough level to do stuff. We are level 7. I don't know what the level cap is. I think it was actually raised to 14 by the DLC. Because I think actually that level cap is like 10. And then I think the level cap was like 30 or something like that in Pillars of Eternity 2. Yeah. Right. I will be back in a moment. Let's have a look. Let's get inside the catacombs. So I might have to quiet it down a bit.
No prisoners!
In fact, ooze, like black oozes in games, sometimes called black pudding. Yeah, they're called black pudding in
Be cautious.
Dark Souls as well.
Be constant.
Just so you watch now. They're absolutely horrifying though, because they hang from the ceiling and they drop onto you. And you think they're harmless, and then they like spike out.
So much for you. Kill them all.
So Troll didn't notice us.
So much.
Hmm.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Gee. Hasty wells, I told you downfalls. My betrayal and blood flowing for it. Files rude. I wonder what this is. It's just for. Ah! Come on, it's just a skelly. I'm invincible. This all looks nice. Let's talk to him. There's the end of war. The slave frees himself from his chains, only to find it's bound by a strong set of chains. Alright, fate. Old. Otherwise, destroyed. Cute little rabbit. Where's the harmless? I frowned. Oh, purpose. Right. It's clever. Oh dear. I imagine these are all on the wiki.
What's this?
I want to read them. Right, what's that ring? Suppress affliction. That's pretty good. Give that to you. Killing with Inceptor. It's two-handed. Oh, mind you, this so yeah. Okay, right. No, the is better. Okay. Yes, as much as I would love to look at all of the nameplates and whatnot, I'm just gonna say that's not happening. Yeah, I'm sure there's other players who are more dedicated to that and God bless them for it, but it's not for me.
Kill them all!
Get on! I'm on the trail.
So where does that lead? Temple of Boudica. Okay. Let's save the game. I'm not going to go down that way yet. I want to try and explore all of the catacombs first. Before we just walk right into a temple.
Let's get a good shot with this.
Kill them all!
Trying to think what other classes there are that we could talk about. Because I talk about ciphers a lot. There's monks. We haven't come across monks yet. Monks are interesting in that, like, they... Heligathane. Ah, we've read about them. They disappeared after the trials. What's this? You disturb Helig's work? Oh, Helig? Danton sent me. Looking for Rowena. That little fool is still alive. I do hope that he still doesn't bear a grudge for that incident. It was so very long ago. Here's what happened. Rowena's happened to you. But this? That's a long story. I was one of the first animancers in the Deerwood. Practiced necromancy too, which is what brought Dalton and his Northwatch Rangers on my trail. We tell me, Dalton, whether there's a miracle or a joke, but the gods is still alive. I think a lot more than that fishing lieutenant was the idea of his own legend. He claims you killed Rowena. Let's hear her voice. Oh, I'm sure. Never know it all the time. I'll make a deal with you. I can help you find Rowena. But first need you to find an animal named Odin first. Alright, what do you need me to do? Animals start gaining popularity. I came to Defiance Bay in hopes to find a place where my research would be met with more acceptance. Went to the Brackenbury Sanitarium for a few months when I met Mordred. This same Mordred and I didn't see eye to eye. Got so bad, we were threatening to kill each other on a daily basis. Obviously that bastard made good on his threat. Sink it down onto my chest while I was sleeping down the body in the catacombs. If Mordred killed you... No, let's go with the Stoic. Just think here now. I preserve my mind and my memories, but then with the magic and rightly timely preparations. You know, my soul is anchored to this decaying husk. Mordred stole a life from me and left me with a wretched corpse, this craving. Mordred keeps all that is precious to him in a trunk in his laboratory. Ah, we met Mordred. This is stole my grimoire. On your way to the Brackenbury Center, bring me my grimoire and my revenge. You go to your arena. What are you doing down here? Personal projects. Revenants. A tarnished locket. Okay, this seems a bit more complicated. We do need to find Rowena. Uh...
As you wish. Poison! Hardly.
Let's keep moving. Trigger all the traps. Okay, let's go back to the sanitarium, and if we attract that troll's attention, then so be it. Just double check that book. That's the modern age. No, it wasn't Animals in the modern age, it was another book. That's it. This is where search function would be a really good idea. Pangram. Pangram and Helig, okay. So Mordred was not one of the NPCs mentioned. Hmm? So we found one of the original ambulances, at least as a practice. So if we can't.
Segan, what is it like not to see your children for so long? I imagine it must be difficult.
Even in my souk, I'm on the
Those
hunt
people.
more than at home. But 5 years. It's been a strain.
Then to your good fortune. Ado Vidorio. May you see them all again soon.
Hail and well met.
Gods keep you.
Does the name Helig mean anything to you? Jail woman named Rowena. What the hell are you going differently? Just what are you insinuating? If this is your idea of a joke, I assure you it's in very poor taste. I insinuate nothing. Subtlety is my style. I wouldn't. I would and I'd enjoy it. I usually do. Wait, there's no need for that. I confess it. I can't feel that. I killed that beast because nobody else had the spine for it. He was a madman. It is a perverse experiment, twisting healthy souls, torturing damaged souls of what? That flay the essence of grandfather and indigence for his amusement. If the public had known half his deeds, it would have razed his place to the ground. He used the sanitarium to disguise his own sick proclivities. Okay, he brought shame on all of us. With the entire discipline at risk, I regret nothing. Halig's soul returned to his corpse through sinister magic. He wants revenge, no doubt. Now you understand why I killed him. Why someone had to. If you sent you Halig wasn't slain. You stole a grimoire from him. I'll consider it.
Good day, stranger.
His grimoire. What was no, I'll tell you. Give him the key. We've been misled, there's no grimoire here. Never intended to find one. A wretched thing has an insatiable hunger for blood. Thank you for denying him. I hope that I can convince you now to return him. So once for all. There's something I need. Yeah. So we can't get that chest open that has the creature in. I assume that was the whole thing of like, yeah, you open the chest and the Wight leaps out and eats you. Let's go back. I just need to check as well what my dispositions are. Because we're doing a lot of flavoured dialogue, but which ones? Ah, there they are. Reputations. Benevolent 3, Stoic 2, Diplomatic 2, Rational 2, Honest 1. Okay, fairly good, fairly good. I'm a faintly good ally to Defense Spain, which Champion Guild fail. I'm a terror of House Terminal. Appallingly bad, oh dear. Oh no, I've done something. For some reason the game doesn't like me pressing the Q button. Oh, what if that's quick save? Huh, okay. Okay, let me reiterate. The game doesn't seem to like me saving the game. No idea why this game takes so long to load the save menu. I appreciate I might have a lot of old saves. But if it 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I don't have to see it. I just have too many saves. So, yeah, but I don't think this game's going to get any more updates to patch that. I'm sure there's mods out there that can maybe optimize it, but otherwise, no. Yeah. So let's go back this way. And act surprised that we're going to be betrayed. I think that Rowena is actually going to be in that chest. Although maybe she might actually be here, she might be one of the Revenants. But see if we can release her from her anguish. Oh, so. Well, he's not actually turned on us, so that's good. What's it? Hello? Is this yours? Hmm.
Oh, Lord, but I'm slowly dying of boredom.
Hmm. See, I'm just wondering if, like, the remnants will side with us. If we give them the things. This is not your grandma. So let's check if it's expanded there. Okay, never mind. So Helig's dead. So one of the biggest players in Animancy has just been killed. Oh, lots of stuff there. Soul Ward amulets. You think you hear a woman's voice? Oh wow, okay. The soul fills, prowls within the bloodstone. Like a caged Stilgar. It's filled with a fierce, relentless energy. Who are you? You see the image of a woman in your mind in heavy leather armor, bearing twin daggers. Next to her is a man, young and handsome, who calls her Rowena. The vision shifts to a windswept plain next to a lake. 50 men and women in matching leathers lay dead, their bodies contorted and deformed by some sinister sorcery. Rowena falls among them, her body collapsing next to the young man you saw earlier. She's too weak to speak, but the name Dalton appears in your mind. The lone figure strides across the battlefield, barely bothering to step over the corpses. His eyes are filled with a natural light and fixed on Rowena. He reaches out to her, and what little life remains in her body departs. We take the amulet from around her neck. You feel her anguished soul trapped within it. Dalton, it's time to find you. The soul pulses with warmth. Those in my memories of a young man who was bold and generous. With fear and despair, ignore those images until you can feel like holograms of walls pressing against you. There's something loathing feeding off you as the years fade into darkness. You want. There's shadowing the soul, inside rising to spinning with the stars. Return to Dalton. So we can perhaps ask him to destroy the amulet and release her soul from it. Perhaps they'll be reunited on the wheel.
All right, Connor?
Have you ever looked up and felt a sudden surprise at where you are? I think it's just sunk in that I'm a year out from home.
Only every day. You'll get used to it.
Who's this chap Sandrick here? Another addition to my dungeon, perhaps? You killed my beloved, this will not stand. Your beloved, what are you talking about? Dan and I were to be wed. Pay with his insolence.
Brave.
I'll pay them. Really show me, huh?
As you wish.
I think it's usually meant to be the last one, I'm not
Of
sure.
course.
Welcome.
Yes, but as you expected. From Heli Goose Scout to Soul Trout in its for decades, down to suffering. No, please. After searching for it for so long, stop closing with invisible, my dreams will be enough. Enough for you, but what about for her? You captured trapped in this amulet for the sake of your own comfort. You're no better than a wizard prisoner. Perhaps she found you now that so you can finally say goodbye. You're right. Please let me do it. I feel the essence rush from it. Thank you for showing me reason. I shall wait for me in the next life. By the flame, she won't have long to wait. Please take this. World Adventuring Days. I think it's time I finally let them go. So we got some Dialune Opta. Whatever the hell that is. Couldn't begin to tell what that is, so okay. Health. What am I doing? Now we need to go into the Catacombs. Okay, so we've done a side quest there. Across the bridge. Oh, we forgot the troll. Oops. I think if the fox is taking the troll, we stand a pretty good chance. Do I really want to go down that way? That looks like there's a lot going on down there. Let's stick to this side. Hold on, let's have a look.
Well met, friend.
Wasn't expecting any visitors down these parts. What are you doing down here? I've not down on Mudland lately. Didn't have anywhere to stay, so I thought I'd come down here. No one pokes around. I can't do as much until you anyway. That's how, but that's not the whole story, I think. What are you hiding? I'm just trying to get away. Get by. There's nothing else to it. If that isn't to your liking, there's a whole lot of catacombs out there for you to go all to yourself. If you tell me, perhaps I can help. Very well, it's true. I haven't heard from the knights down here, but it wasn't what you think, it was an accident. It's been hard for me here in Defiance Bay. I suppose I'd got involved in city business. If I made the right friends, perhaps I would have an easier time, and if I didn't, well, I'm making over for myself a place. But people have to listen to people when I talk, but they used to. We're not very passionate about things. Discussing, I think, it was shipping agreements, of all things to fight over. There's one night, this man, he got very angry. I think I maybe had a little too much at the end. I guess he didn't like it at all and talking about him. I struck him. He was towards me, I hit him, and he went over like a tree. Guess he struck his head on the way down. Turns out it was a knight. The Crucible Knights won't care how it happened, they just want me gone. They won't let me live enough to see the road, please. I just want to get out of the city. If I can get money for passage, I won't trouble anyone. Again, I swear. That's over here. Well, nice, take you, but I can't just let you go free. I'll give him passage. But this... They say you're a kind soul, but I wouldn't have it imagined. See, I sit well away. I'm not sure I could ever thank you enough, but here, take this. I was so used to it. Well, that's a good friend, I should get ready. Okay. Unwanted. So there you go. So yeah, that's a quest that you can begin quite quickly. And you can also take into your dungeon as well, which is nice.
I'll give it a try, at least.
Great.
What is it? What is it?
That's it!
Hello? Hello?
Okay.
Keeping an eye out.
Thanks. Oh dear. Let's save the game. Let's kill some more stuff up for XP. Yeah, spalls, like, don't underestimate them. They can be a dangerous foe because they charm the party. You can charm or otherwise stun the party.
Brave thou Thila dearly.
Like there.
Kill them all.
Okay, yep. We need you here, Eloth. Get a fan of flames out right. Burn everything. Fireball.
So much.
Yeah, use another fan of flames. And another fan of flames. There we go. Yeah. Burn them. Burn them all.
Of course.
But yeah, like a lot of RPGs like spore creatures like that. Don't fuck around with them. Give them help because like they will pose a threat. They usually have something going on with them. Yeah, they're rarely ever a fun bunch. Like it's gonna be poison or charming or something like that, or flammable spores. So I don't think there's much else to this place, so I think we're pretty much free to go. Oh, sorry. I went for Aeloth. Yeah, so Idia. Let's get here. So yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, I was talking about other classes, wasn't I? Yeah, monks. Monks are a class that, like, they have this mechanic called wounds, and the idea is, like, I think as they take damage, they get more powerful, and they can spend their wound points to do more damage, and unlock their abilities. So they're quite tanky, obviously benefiting from, like, light armor and, like, fast attacks and things like that. Yeah. Never really tried them out. I might have to have one in the party. Oh, hello. Older roadman. Oh, hello. Now this guy, don't we?
You are from Caed, my boy.
His voice or an echo in your mind from the time long past, and you know you're responsible for your speak it. As it as always has been. Okay, so I'm actually seeing this as the Watcher. I came to live there years ago.
A remarkable city. Truly one of the most impressive we have encountered outside of our own. Many exceptional people who have joined our cause come from Caed. What made you decide to join our order?
I've always known about the true gods. The gods have been good to me and I wish to repay them. I went through dark times. It made sense. Which is why I come to my homeland. So the gods grant a recall to your order. I was not sure. Would have been good to me, I wish to repay them.
They will smile upon your service as long as it is performed in earnest. Are you ready to take the oath? To spread the word of the gods to the lost and heathen?
Oh. Hmm.
They won't see me coming.
I do like the scouting mechanic. Yeah. Scouting is very hard to do in like tabletop mechanics, especially in D&D, where it's like, why are you not always scouting? Why are you not always doing like perception checks and things like that? And how do you like perceive something harder than you already are? Yeah.
I'm on the trail.
Oh. We can't disarm the trap, so we'll just try and ignore it if we can. Protection. Hear the faint sound of whispering from one of the skulls, but the words are unintelligible. Ooh. Well done. I think some scouting is needed for this place. Oh. Save the game first. We've got another cloak. Might come in handy for one of our characters, who knows? Okay, how long am I recording? Okay, well, let's write this up. What are you doing here? You look like one of that masked lot. Relax. How would you know? How would I know to be here if I didn't belong? I thought my mask is a little bit best. Alright then. Go and report to the acolytes and she'll give you your assignment. You should be just about finished their meeting in the big chamber. Any idea what's going on around here? Word of advice, friend, don't ask questions. Just go and do what you're told. The bell's place, as far as I can tell, underneath the best fires. We'll under that ruined temple. That's really usual. It's not a secret handshake business, but it bears. Nervous kid in the library, okay. Secret chamber down there. Let's not go that way, let's go this way. There's an open door here. Oh, what did I just take?
I'll give it a try, as requested.
Welcome.
Got the flame, you stuck on me. Where's your mask? That's it, I knew so. I'll put it back on with the reason. Well, don't let anyone see you inside without it. They're keen on anonymity. Tell me what the meeting. And this must be our first time. Nikolai communicates with each of us individually to hear our progress on old tasks and assign us new ones. It's a unique process. She's a cipher, so she can speak to you without words. Fascinating until you realize she can probably read your thoughts just as easily. You know about these tasks. And they would absolutely need to. Protect the secrets of the gods, so discretion is essential. We received our instructions from the acolyte, just as she receives hers from someone else, and so on, right up to the Grandmaster. Our rule is to obey, knowing as little about the overall plan, and each other as possible. Well, these secrets. You shouldn't even be asking. Whatever they are, they're secrets for a reason. Our job is to just guard them, not to know them. How can you be confident you're doing the right thing when you know so little? That's easy. The leaden key has been around for ages by the blessing of the gods. You only have to look around to see the perils of trying to usurp divine power. Ah. Killing a god in the Saints' Wars cursed us all, and the heresy of animancy has only worsened matters. Try to replace a soul and you inevitably end up with a monster. It's all been a warning. There are some powers that we shouldn't have. So the leaden key are essentially cultists of the gods. And they believe that meddling with souls, which is what animancers do, is pretty bad. I see. We've been entrusted with important work. It's an honour, but not without its challenges. Yeah, something else? I'll be really gonna wish it's easy soon, honest. What are you doing? We're practicing the passphrases. Yeah, the backwards and forwards, but I get so nervous every time I think about the rest of the daylight. You practice on me? Okay. Here goes. State your name and purpose. Answer. My name belongs to the gods, and I hand to their service. Second question. What company do you seek? Answer. I see the company of shadows that our labours remain secret. Third question. The way of your labours. Answer. To see the craft of kith and wilds do not disturb what bones the gods have buried. Fourth question. How do we know your purpose? Answer. You shall know by the confession of my tongue, the deeds of my hand, and the oath of my soul. Riddles upon riddles. What bones have the gods buried? It's very dramatic, isn't it? Oh, sorry, please continue. Fifth question. And how is your oath guarded? Answer. It is sealed by the leaden key. That wasn't so hard. Try it again. Looks like you got it. I think. I'm just going to practice a few more times by myself before the meeting. Where are you, Hood? Of course not. Nikolai will kill me for sure if I approach her without it. I promise I will bring it back. Bring it right back. I guess there's no harm. Don't tell them when I gave it to you. You can't be serious. Oh. I actually can't wear the hood. Because I'm a godlike. So I can't wear this hood to get access here. I hope they'll forgive that. Yeah. But hang on a second, we've got a cyclopedia. Oh, what else we got? Do we have anything on? I don't know if we have anything on classes though. Tips, backer content. Friendly fire. Okay. And law. Nice. This is something we'll talk about. Ah, the wheel. Wrath's wheel. Okay. Yeah. It's for concept. It's Journey of Souls. Be nice if there was like a pronunciation guide for some of this stuff as well. Because I think they have that for some of the monsters. Wicked. No, I think other games did better with this, like the Obsidian, but yeah. Oh, the father doesn't bring his hand to his forehead. Takes a staggering step forward, coughing and sputtering.
Back, ye Claude! Those hooded fiends are nigh to be trusted!
Pull yourself together. It's nothing, I'm fine. This probably isn't the best thing in there, anyhow. Don the hood and mask. We pull the hood out. They fit, but just barely. Oh, okay. So I think this was added in one of the patches where actually you can wear the hood. Continue to the chamber alone. Which is probably a bad idea. I'm not self-sufficient. Several shredded figures are lined up across the hooded woman. The figure of the head of the line approaches her. The woman places her outstretched hand on the stranger's forehead. Standing silent as you look on. Who's later the stairs? Okay. But like, just double take it's your ill-fitting hood. You are late, attendant. Since arranged and there is a low voice as the sun sounds the others in the chamber.
I've been waiting on your reports. Quickly now, state your name and purpose.
I had none of your business. My name belongs to the gods, and my hand to their service.
What company do you seek?
Is that an offer? Clever. I seek the company of shadows, that our labours may remain secret.
Tell me of your labors.
To see that the craft of Kith and Wilder do not disturb what bones the gods have
How
buried.
do we know your purpose?
Should know by the confession of my tongue, the deeds of my hand, and the oath of my soul.
And how is your oath guarded?
It is sealed by the leaden key.
Welcome, attendant. Tell me of your exploits.
In your mind you see a magnificent with trellises and tiles like in a pristine boulevard. The wealthy and learned stroll in and out, trading knowledge and coin.
Does he wait still?
He also has a misery man, somewhere within their own closet man. He watches and waits, prisoner by choice. I'm gonna say yes.
Did they arrive?
I'm not gonna piss these guys off, so signpost on one of the paths reads Deerford. Several, I guess, huddled together, shrouded by cloaks and that sounds yes.
Your information shall be relayed. Now, for your next task.
The ruins flitter in your mind, and in the places upon them set. My neighborhood, run down estates are cobbled together around a cinder-rotary. An ancient tower, savage shapes prowl streets, and the tower man hunches over a strange mechanism. You can't see clearly, there's something natural about him.
Stop him. And above all, don't let him meet her.
Acolyte shows you the door at the basement of the tower, seemingly impenetrable slab. I shall. What is this place? It's what remains of the Temple of Whitaker. The Revolution destroyed everything above us. For our purposes, who are you? And the acolytes, that's all you need to know. Who are the men in the tower? So, okay. Show the prisoner.
Well?
Let's see if everyone else is allowed through.
Yes. Yes.
Law. Have got any law on the leaden key? Wow. We do not. Hmm. Okay, what's the quest? The man who waits. Place of misery madness. I'm curious.
No!
Do we suffer any reputation losses? If we stir shit up. I mean, they're certainly tough opponents, aren't they? So.
We gotta take better care of that.
Stuck!
Hey. Hey.
Hmm.
All right then.
Brave thou beyond.
So hopefully we won't get in trouble with this, but besides, the Whitaker is not our god. And not one of the nicer ones, anyway.
Well,
Yeah, like, they have their problems.
what is it?
Hey.
Brave thou Felon. Well, love will be our safety.
That fireball is just amazing, and the fact that I can have like 4 a day is really good.
Of course. Yes.
I'm sorry, initiate. If to die as
Brave thou Felon Philly. Bring them down. So much for you.
Hey.
I think that's just pretty much everyone dealt with. So hopefully we're not going to get butchered by the guards as soon as we walk out of this place. But yeah. But Boudica is like an interesting god in that, like, they are, yes, they're like the sort of like the god of justice and whatnot. But like, she is sort of quite corrupt in that, like, she does have her favoured servants. So yeah. So I've had the man who waits. Is a prisoner by choice. So yeah. Yeah, so Boudica is deities. Count statistics. Common mechanics bestari. But nothing about people. So, okay. Deities. Boudica. Goddess of justice, law, oaths, promises, rulership, vengeance, memory, and hierarchies. Depicted as an old noble woman bearing a broken crown upon her head, said to have ruled over the other gods, but since been overthrown. Yeah. Magran is the goddess of war, fire, transformation, purification, consumption, and trials. Patron goddess of the Deerwood, thought to have been blessed. Thought to have blessed the god of a bomb that destroyed Whitewind, and possibly Eothas. Here's the god of redemption, rebirth, dawn, spring, and light. Traditionally shown as a man bearing a candle and wearing a silver crown, believed to have possessed the body of the Red Sun farmer Whitewind during the Saints' War. That's destroyed. Along with White at the end of the war. Who else? I don't think there's anyone else that's been that important right now. Steward Caed Nua has received a letter for you. Durgan's battery. Okay. Ghost. 5. Nothing new there.
A moment, please. I feel I should explain myself.
Okay. Right. Troubling moment. Also as well, Durgan's battery, so that's now allowing us to do the first bit of the Light March, the DLC. We'll probably do that. I'm going to try and find an ideal time to do that.
About my episode in the Catacombs. There's something I should have told you earlier.
Just want to pause very quickly. Okay, so I've actually just noticed that we probably will have to start the DLC soon. But let's talk to Aloth about my episode of the Catacombs. There's something I should have told you earlier. Cross my arms. Wait. Stoic reputation. I was stand together, slowly massaging a knuckle with his thumb. I meant no harm. I thought I could keep it to myself. I don't resolve the matter of your soul. It was just my problem.
I also have an awakened soul. But unlike yours, mine is a presence that shares my senses and my skin, making herself manifest at the most unwelcome times.
He closes his eyes and grits his teeth. His lips quiver and twitch in the vestiges of some internal debate. Several seconds later, he opens his eyes again, the watering bloodshot.
I'm sorry. I've tried to learn to control Isilmir. I've gotten stronger, but so has she.
Sorry about Isilmir.
Artless, uncouth, a creature of rash impulses and feeble faculties. She wags her impertinent tongue when she should listen. Aye, this one's fit to boil. Hard to get this gaff over anything tisn't to do with books and spell speak.
I have none of her memories. Wrath spare me that much. But her coarse manners and intolerable hill speak suggest a provincial from a very, very long time ago. She tends to serve as a hair's breadth from conflict, and the fuse is burnt down and the teeth are on edge. And when she shows up, she doesn't stop to gauge the situation, she just acts. She seems reckless. This is exactly. You recall the way she goes to those villages in Gila Vale. She doesn't think and she doesn't back down. And tries to suppress that has been my problem for years. Why didn't you say something sooner?
I learned to keep her a secret a very long time ago. Those with awakened souls are shunned, mistrusted. And after your experience with Meerwald, I'm certain you can see why. You need to be careful.
Is this going to be a
Merely an
problem?
annoyance. Although, Defiance Bay is said to have an entire institution dedicated to the study and cure of soul-related ailments. Since our journeys have already brought us to the city, perhaps we could speak with someone there.
If it's up to you, we'll go.
Thank you. This has been a great burden.
There's no more about Sylmia. Such as? Did she awaken? My father was a strict man. He expected the best from his only child, and he didn't tolerate failure. At times he could be rather adamant, like when he had been drinking. Sylmia manifested on one such occasion. To be honest, I don't remember the specifics, only that he was more careful with me after that. He said he'd learned to hide her a long time ago. My mother instructed me to keep her secret after she first emerged. She feared that knowledge of my awakening would render me an outcast. Even though Sylmia proved to be useful, I trusted my mother's advice, and I've since come to see the wisdom behind it. Meerwald's an extreme example, but one that I can relate to more and more each year. Usurpations are uncomfortable enough. I'm not eager to invite her into my conscience more than necessary. Two-sided, okay.
Well? Well?
So. We'll just have a look. Also, it is recommended as well that you do the White March with at level 7 with no level scaling. If you get any higher, then they recommend level scaling. I probably won't go for the level scaling, to be honest. I don't mind being overleveled. You know, this game has kicked my ass for plenty of time. And the last thing you want to see is me constantly just...
repairs and this keep will be a sight to see.
And you do not want to see me butting my head against this game over and over again. So, we'll try and avoid that. I've had a letter come here as well. I shall.
My lord, you've received a letter. Delivered with some urgency as it happens. I thought the messenger might swoon, poor dear. It's from Stalwart. Apparently the mayor, Renengild, has heard of your success here at Caed Nua and hopes you can be of aid to her people as well.
Long way for a lad.
People like you come few and far between. And in this case, I believe Renengild is correct in suggesting that your experiences here may give you an edge. It seems she's intent on gaining access to Durgan's battery. And she's offering quite the reward to anyone who can get inside.
A reward, she says, for getting into the battery. That's a reward of its own, surely.
Durgan's battery isn't the source of Durgan's steel.
Ah, the very same. All manner of people have been trying to infiltrate the keep for years. Our own Earl was much taken with the story of the battery's fall. There are many legends concerning the battery. As the Earl told it, the dwarves fought amongst themselves, each seeking to use the battery to further his or her own ambitions. Greed and cruelty brought down the battery, and now the spirits of those same dwarves roam the halls. Whatever happened, the battery has been impenetrable ever since. A shame. I don't doubt that there are great treasures still within those halls.
Perhaps I still want to visit it. I'm sure the wonders of the battery are marvel to behold, but if the passes through the Wide March were open again, it would be a boon to merchants of the Republics. The dear would, of course.
I should mention that among those rumored to have answered Renengild's summons is a certain group I believe you may have an interest in. Followers of Woodica intend...
Oh.
Now that I've delivered Renengild's message, there is also a local matter of some concern, my lord.
Followers of Boudica.
A mercenary band has been sighted to the northeast. I believe they mean to take Consul Hot's tower, and I don't expect the Archmage will go quietly.
Consul Hot, one of the designers of spells.
Consul Hot's one of the greatest wizards of our generation.
I love the fidgets and flutters, vacillating between anxiety and excitement. There's a bit lost words. So, a bit of a fun fact. A lot of the main characters in D&D, like Elminster and Mordenkainen and all the rest of it, they are characters from the original campaigns that Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson and the rest made. So, like Larlock or what was the one? Acererak and people like that. Yeah, these were all characters that were named after them. Yeah, and so I imagine Consul Hot is probably one of like the Obsidian devs' D&D characters. Yeah. Same with like Falvano and things like that, who was also quite prominent as well in Pillars of Eternity 2. And I certainly hope that Falvano also makes it in Avowed as well. But then again, I don't know. Would that fit the game? Not sure. I like Falvano though.
The Torn Bannermen are a deadly fighting force, and Consul Hot himself has sent many travelers to their graves. I would caution you to stay clear of the region if you do travel to the White March. It is not that I doubt your courage, my lord, but Consul Hot alone boasts power of a different scale altogether to those foes you have faced thus far. If the Bannermen succeed in their efforts, I fear they may turn their attention to Caed Nua. I will keep you apprised of the situation, my lord.
Who's Consul Hot?
A famed archmage. I am given to understand that the Brackenberry Sanitarium puts much stock in his work, as regards the manipulation of the soul. His spells are widely circulated. But he is poorly regarded in many circles. Some call him a madman, or else cruel and barbarous. He must be very old by now. Perhaps that is why the Torn Bannermen believe they can best him.
Do you know anything else about these mercenaries?
Little enough, I'm afraid. The Torn Bannermen are well supplied and well organized, and there are rumors that they are backed by an unknown benefactor. They have proved remarkably effective in the past, and they are certainly a threat now. Safe travels, my lord.
Okay, so I think we might be doing this next time. Yeah, there's a lot going on. But if there's anything we can do before then, yeah. Good. Jailer.
Well met, friend.
Greetings, my lord. I am here to maintain the settlers for you. Did you take any prisoners in your travels? I will make sure they are tended as you see fit. You have instructions with me? What do you want to do with these prisoners? I'm supposed to convince you to release me out of the kindness of your heart. Rodney, let me free, you'll profit by it. I will have to look into actually what the dungeons do, if anything. But yeah. So, the White March. Quest Siege of Hold. Okay. So I could maybe do this one. But Dagon's battery might be good as well. Well, he waits. Okay, so I think I can still do some more quests before I have to start do the White March, or it becomes recommended to do so. Gonna rest here.
You're a newcomer to the Deerwood as well. What do you make of it so far?
This people lunatic's honest. The people seem nice enough. Also, this seems to be trouble rain. That seems to be constant in these parts. If it isn't trouble with the Glenfathans, it's trouble among the Deerwoodens themselves. And I find it strange that a people surrounded by enemies should tear each other at each other so. They're a rather refreshing bunch otherwise, I think. I've whiled away an hour or two to hack into the regulars in one tavern or another. Everyone from the merchant to the servant has an opinion to share. I like those moments where you get to know what the characters are thinking. Yeah. Right, I think I'm going to call it there. I'm going to consider my next move. No doubt I'll be playing more tomorrow morning, as I'm loading 2 episodes. Yeah. But yeah, whatever we do, like, we can make progress. We've got plenty of guidelines as to our next move. Just want to guess, well, when's our next upgrade for the stronghold? And we have got the money. So finished in a day and 10 hours. Ah, so yeah, you can only do one thing at a time. But yeah. Yeah. Right, I'm going to call it there. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. And love for the next part. Definitely.